Welcome back to my channel. I'm welcoming myself back too because it's been a minute. I literally don't remember what the last thing I posted was, or what is going on, or if I said why I was taking a break, but I am back. Sometimes life just brings about ebbs and flows, and I just needed to take time away from the channel, but now I'm back. I am excited about why I'm back, because today we're going to talk about Hanukkah. I am helping to put on an event at my university about Hanukkah, and I was tasked with giving a speech about it, so I'm kind of just going to give that speech to you all, except maybe I'll say a bit more about magic and Hanukkah at the end. Also, it's a bit strange because we will have just done a Kahoot, so there's some context there. So I say congrats again to those who made it on the leaderboard, and well done everyone. Now that we've established some starting facts about Hanukkah, I'd like to dive a bit deeper into the origins, history, and modern significance of the holiday, as well as share a bit about why it's important to me. Let's jump right in. Hanukkah, as we've covered in this Kahoot that you all did not play, is a Jewish holiday that lasts 8 nights. It's known as the Festival of Lights due to the emphasis on lighting, the Menorah, and some of the lore surrounding the holiday. It commemorates the recovery of Jerusalem from the Seleucid Empire by the Jews, led by the Maccabees, and the subsequent rededication of the temple. For those who know anything about the Jewish calendar, Hanukkah runs from the 25th day of Kislev to the 2nd day of Tevet. This year, in the Gregorian calendar, that means it is running from November 28th to December 6th. According to the Jewish calendar, Hanukkah is known as a minor holiday, but to many North American Jews, it holds a special significance due to its proximity to the holidays of Thanksgiving and Christmas. To set the scene, the Seleucids were an empire in the Middle East in the 2nd century BCE. They were a Greek state that was formed in 312 BCE and was conquered in 63 BCE. Under Antiochus IV, the Seleucids conquered Judea, capturing Jerusalem by force. As a Greek state, the Seleucids spread Greek culture through a process known as Hellenization, and one of the places this influence could be seen was in the way the Seleucids handled Jewish faith. They did not accept it. In fact, they intentionally defiled the temple by sacrificing pigs, a non-kosher animal, in the middle of it. This specific event prompted the Jews to revolt, and they wound up eventually reclaiming, recleansing, and rededicating the temple, even if they didn't have much power outside of Jerusalem itself. You can read about the origins of the holiday in the Apocrypha, the intertestamental books that Catholics consider to be part of Scripture, but Protestants do not. Jewish people don't consider it to be Scripture either, but we do acknowledge them as valuable historical and cultural documents. 2 of those books, 1st and 2nd Maccabees, discuss in detail the rededication of the temple in Jerusalem, centering around the rekindling of the lampstand in the temple. But the holiday of Hanukkah isn't just about the rededication of the temple. Though 1st Maccabees clearly describes an 8-day rededication process, the miracle of the oil isn't mentioned anywhere in the book. It's likely that the rededication process took place over 8 days because the Jewish people were celebrating a different 8-day holiday, Sukkot, now that they were finally not controlled in their religion. Both 1st and 2nd Maccabees point to this as true. Hanukkah centers around, with almost more emphasis than on the revolt against foreign powers, the miracle of the oil. According to this miracle, when the temple was cleansed, enough untainted oil was found to keep the lampstand lit for only 1 day. However, it would take 8 days for the Jews to acquire more oil. The lampstand remained lit, with the oil lasting for 8 days. This miracle is described in the Talmud, an authoritative Jewish text. The Talmud was written about 600 years after the event likely took place. So that's a bit about the history of the event that led to Hanukkah. But what does it look like today? Hanukkah is currently celebrated in lots of ways, including through the lighting of a menorah, sometimes specifically called a Hanukkah, singing songs, playing a game called dreidel, and eating oil-based foods as well as dairy. Hanukkah celebrations can often be divided into cultural celebrations and religious celebrations. Religiously, there are special additions to the daily prayer service, and a section is added to the blessing after meals that Jewish people say. Culturally, people will often exchange gifts. Sometimes these gifts are meant to be enjoyed together, such as a family that gives children books to read together or board games to play together. However, as Hanukkah is increasingly presented as a Jewish alternative to Christmas, the gifts often get larger and more extravagant. Fried foods are eaten in acknowledgement of the importance of oil. Some of these traditional Jewish foods are latkes, which are a type of potato pancakes, and sufganiyat, a type of jelly donut. There's also a tradition around eating dairy in honor of a revolutionary from a different period of oppression named Judith. One of the most important cultural and religious observations is the lighting of the menorah. On the first night, one candle is lit, using a different bonus candle to light it. On the second, 2 candles are lit using the bonus candle, and so on until the 8th night, when the whole menorah is lit. There's a lot of rules about what can be used for a menorah and what kind of candles must be used, and the menorah's location once lit, as well as how long it must be lit for. There are special blessings that are to be said over the menorah. As I mentioned earlier, Hanukkah is a minor holiday, so people still go to work and school, and there's no obligation to fast or anything like that. In fact, in nations outside of the United States, Hanukkah is not very well known. It only is here because there was a movement in the 1970s to call for public awareness and observance of the festival, including the erection and lighting of menorahs in public places. So that's a lot of information about Hanukkah in general. But what do I, the Jewish witch, get out of it? Why do I celebrate it? My reasons have shifted throughout the years. At one point it was strictly a religious thing, but now I find my reasons are much more cultural. Hanukkah connects me to my fellow Jews all around the world who are celebrating the same holiday at the same time, which is true of all holidays, but I find special significance in Hanukkah. It's also a reminder of resistance and a refusal to assimilate. There's nothing wrong with cultural exchange and appreciation, but I will always be Jewish. I will never not be Jewish. Celebrating Hanukkah is an affirmation of my heritage and a reminder that my identity is worth celebrating and fighting for. It means so much to me that it's absolutely my second favorite holiday on the Jewish calendar, only superseded by Passover. I also think that Hanukkah is important as a reminder of light in the darkness. Metaphorical, literal, all of the above. Also, hello, Bill. I wrestle a lot with my mental health not being particularly great, and Hanukkah is a reminder that even when things look dark, miracles can happen. The end of the speech is like, that's an overview of Hanukkah. Thanks so much for listening, and if you have any questions, feel free to ask me, but it's time to celebrate now. And I guess that's true. If you have any questions, feel free to ask me. What am I doing for Hanukkah this year? I'm clearly doing this event. I'm going to be lighting the menorah. I'm going to do the 8-day question prompt from Jew Witches. And yeah, I think that's about it. So that's a bit about me and Hanukkah. Thanks for watching. I'm sure I will be doing magic as well, but I don't know what yet. So, yeah, I'll see you all later.